Jessica had tried everything. 3 different budgeting apps, 2 different methods, countless fresh starts every Monday morning. And every single month, she'd end up in the same place, broke, stressed, and wondering where all her money went. But then something clicked. 6 months later, she had $8,000 in her savings account for the first time in her adult life. This is the story of what finally worked when everything else failed. Jessica Martinez was 29 years old, working as a marketing coordinator, making $52,000 a year. On paper, she should have been fine, but every month felt like a financial tightrope walk. She wasn't buying designer bags or eating out every night. She was just normal. A few coffees here, Target runs there, streaming subscriptions she forgot about. The death by 1,000 small purchases. Her checking account balance was like a yo-yo. Deposit on Friday down to double digits by Wednesday. She tried budgeting before, trust me, she tried. But nothing seemed to stick. If you've ever felt like budgeting just doesn't work for you, stick around. And if you want more real money stories like this one, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. The failed attempts. Let me take you back to January when Jessica made her New Year's resolution. She downloaded the most popular budgeting app everyone was raving about, the one that connects to your bank accounts, categorizes everything automatically. Week 1, she was obsessed. Checking it every day, color-coded categories, felt like a financial genius. Week 3, she stopped opening the app. Why? Because every time she did, she just felt guilty. Guilty about the $47 she spent at Target. Guilty about the takeout after a long day. The app was judging her, and she was tired of feeling like she was failing. February brought attempt number 2, the envelope method. Cash for everything. She'd seen it work miracles on YouTube. So she withdrew $600 from her account, divided it into envelopes labeled groceries, gas, entertainment, and miscellaneous. This lasted exactly 9 days. The problem? Life isn't that neat. When her car needed an oil change, and it cost more than expected, she had to rob from the grocery envelope. Then she needed to buy a birthday gift, so she dipped into gas money. By day 9, all the envelopes were mixed together, and she just gave up and put everything back in her checking account. The rock bottom moment, March 5th, 10th. Jessica was sitting in her car in the parking lot of her apartment building, and she started crying. Not because something terrible had happened, but because she just checked her bank balance and had $127 until payday 4 days away, and she needed gas to get to work. She was tired of starting over every month, tired of feeling stupid about money, tired of watching her friends talk about their savings accounts and investment portfolios while she was trying to figure out if she could afford groceries. That night, she called her older sister Maya. The conversation that changed everything. "I just don't understand," Jessica told Maya. "I make decent money. I'm not irresponsible. Why can't I figure this out?" Maya listened, then asked a simple question. "Do you know where your money goes before you spend it? Or do you just track where it went after it's gone?" Jessica paused. "What do you mean?" "Every budget you've tried has been reactive," Maya explained. "You spend money, then categorize it, then feel bad about it. You need a budget that tells your money where to go before the month starts." But that's what I tried to do with the envelopes. Not exactly. With the envelopes, you were still just dividing money into categories. I'm talking about giving every single dollar a job before you even start the month. It's called zero-based budgeting. The method that worked, Maya explained it like this. On the last day of the month, you sit down and plan the next month. Your income minus all your expenses and savings should equal 0. Every dollar has a name. Every dollar has a purpose. Jessica was skeptical. That sounds like the same thing I've been doing. Not quite. Here's the difference. You're going to build your budget around your actual life, not some ideal version of yourself. If you know you're going to want coffee twice a week, budget for it. If you know you'll browse Target, give yourself a $40 fun money category. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be realistic and intentional. That weekend, Jessica sat down with a simple spreadsheet. Nothing fancy. Her income, $3,250 per month after taxes. Then she listed everything. Rent, $1,100. Utilities, $150. Car payment, $280. Car insurance, $95. Gas, $120. Groceries, $350. Phone, $75. Subscriptions, $43. Savings, $200. This was new. Sinking funds, $100 for irregular expenses. Personal spending, $150 emergency cushion, $87. Total, $3,250. Every dollar accounted for. The first month, April, was hard. Old habits don't die easily. The first week, Jessica wanted to order takeout on Wednesday night after a brutal day at work. She checked her budget. She'd already used up this week's personal spending money. She had a choice. She could blow the budget, or she could make pasta at home. She made the pasta, and you know what? She felt proud instead of deprived. 2 weeks in, her car needed new windshield wipers. Before, this would have thrown everything into chaos. But she had that $100 sinking fund specifically for unexpected costs. She bought the wipers, adjusted the sinking fund to $65 for the rest of the month, and moved on. By the end of April, Jessica had stuck to her budget for the first time in her life, and she'd saved $200. The momentum builds. May was easier. She adjusted some categories based on what she learned in April. Turned out she needed more for groceries, less for gas since she'd started carpooling. In June, she got a $200 bonus at work. Instead of letting it disappear, she immediately assigned it. $100 to savings, $100 to her car replacement fund. 3 months in, she had $750 in savings and $250 set aside for her next car. It wasn't life-changing money yet, but it was the first time she'd ever saved money consistently. By September, 6 months after her parking lot breakdown, Jessica checked her savings account and saw $8,000. Wait, how did she get from $750 to $8,000? In July, she got serious. She realized if she was being this intentional with her current income, maybe she could increase that income. She started freelancing social media management on weekends, something she was already good at from her day job. Every dollar from freelancing went straight into savings, already budgeted before she even invoiced the clients. The budget framework that worked for her main income worked for her side income too. By September, Jessica wasn't just surviving financially, she was thriving. She had $8,000 in actual savings. Not money she was afraid to touch, but money designated for specific goals. $3,000 for a car replacement fund, $3,000 in a true emergency fund, $2,000 in a travel fund for a trip she was planning for next year. But here's what really changed: her relationship with money. She stopped feeling guilty about spending because every purchase was planned. She wasn't depriving herself, she budgeted for coffee, for Target runs, for fun. But now they were intentional instead of impulsive. She stopped feeling anxious at the end of the month. She knew exactly where her money was because she told it where to go. When her friends asked how she did it, she'd laugh and say, "I finally stopped trying to be perfect and started being realistic." The budget didn't change her life because it was some magical system. It changed her life because it was finally the right system for her. So what can you learn from Jessica's story? 4 big lessons. First, stop trying to track where your money went. Tell it where to go. That's the fundamental difference between budgets that fail and budgets that work. Reactive tracking makes you feel guilty. Proactive planning gives you control. Second, build a budget around your actual life, not your ideal life. Jessica didn't suddenly become a person who meal preps every Sunday and never wants coffee. She budgeted for who she actually was. That's why it worked. Third, every dollar needs a job, including fun money. A budget that's all sacrifice won't last. Jessica gave herself permission to spend money on things she enjoyed. She just did it intentionally instead of impulsively. Fourth, irregular expenses will destroy your budget if you don't plan for them. Car repairs, annual subscriptions, birthday gifts, these aren't surprises. They happen every year. Jessica's sinking fund category saved her budget multiple times. The method that finally worked for Jessica's zero-based budgeting isn't magic. It's just being intentional about every dollar before the month starts. Income minus expenses minus savings equals 0. Every dollar has a name. Could this work for you? Maybe, maybe not. Everyone's different. But if you've tried other budgets and they haven't stuck, maybe the problem isn't you. Maybe you just haven't found the right system yet. Here's my question for you. What's your biggest budgeting struggle? Is it the planning, the tracking, the sticking to it, or something else? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed Jessica's story and want more real-world money lessons that actually make sense, subscribe to Strategic Income. I post new financial stories every week that break down complex money concepts through simple, relatable stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.